If you're currently receiving Social Security or disability benefits, there's some major news that you'll want to hear. Starting with what's being called the Trump bump, your monthly check could soon get a noticeable boost. Analysts are talking about an increase of nearly $370 added to your normal cost of living adjustment, COLA. This could mean a real difference in the lives of millions of recipients, especially since last year's COLA increases didn't match the reality of current inflation. But there's another big story unfolding. The way you receive your benefits is about to change under a new executive order signed by President Donald J. Trump. In fact, there are 5 big changes coming to Social Security in 2026 that may surprise retirees, disability benefit recipients, and seniors. Before we break it all down, a benefits expert who has been guiding people through Social Security, SSI, SSDI, spousal and survivor benefits, veteran programs, railroad retirement, food assistance, and more for over 6 years. If you want to stay on top of all developments affecting your benefits, subscribe to this channel, click the bell icon, and don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps us grow and keeps you informed. So without further delay, let's get started with the update you've been waiting for: the Trump bump and what it means for you. The Trump bump and your benefits. We're just days away from learning the official Social Security COLA for 2026. But there's something more you should know. Thanks to changes in trade policy and inflationary trends, your increase might go beyond the standard adjustment. Inflation has regained momentum since President Trump started imposing tariffs earlier this year. The Senior Citizens League has raised its forecast for Social Security's 2026 COLA for 5 straight months. Right now, the forecast stands at a 2.7% increase, which translates to about $54 more per month for the average retiree, roughly $648 a year. But that's not the end of the story. There's a push to change the way COLA is calculated altogether, which could add an additional $300 to $500 per month for many seniors. How? By switching from the current CPI-W, Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, to CPI-E, Consumer Price Index for the elderly. CPI-E tracks the spending patterns of older Americans, like medical costs, prescriptions, utilities, and groceries, all areas where seniors tend to spend more. If lawmakers make this change, your benefits could reflect real-world costs much better than they do today. Tariffs and their impact on benefits. Tariffs imposed by President Trump have increased the average tax on U.S. imports to its highest level since 1941, according to the Tax Foundation. Inflation had been cooling, but price increases across the economy picked up steam after Trump imposed a 10% baseline tariff on most countries in early April. Because of these tariffs, inflation metrics used by Social Security to set COLA have shifted, leading to a bigger-than-expected bump for 2026. The Social Security Administration will officially announce the COLA in October, but signs point to a larger adjustment than initially predicted. 5 big changes coming to Social Security in 2026 that may surprise retirees. 1. No more paper checks. No more paper checks. President Trump signed an executive order in March ending the issuance of paper checks by the federal government. The deadline for compliance is September 30th, which means this will be the last month you can receive a paper check for your Social Security payment. After this deadline, most beneficiaries will be required to receive payments via direct deposit or a direct express card. However, there are exemptions. If health or financial hardship makes direct deposit difficult, or if you live in an area without access to financial institutions, you can request to continue receiving paper checks. But you must notify the Social Security Administration ahead of time to be approved. 2. Your payments could be garnished. Your payments could be garnished. The Department of Education paused federal student loan repayments in 2020 under the first Trump administration. That included a pause on collections of defaulted loans. Now, those garnishments are expected to resume soon. The Department of Education has already announced that offsets on monthly benefits may restart later this year. This means up to 15% of your monthly Social Security check could be withheld to cover outstanding federal student loans. Millions of older borrowers who still have educational debt could be affected. 3. Higher Social Security taxes for some workers. While there's been talk of eliminating Social Security taxes on benefits, that's not entirely accurate. Certain seniors may still owe federal income taxes on a portion of their benefits, depending on their total income. At the same time, the wage cap for Social Security payroll taxes is set to rise in 2026, meaning higher-earning workers will pay more into the system. 4. COLA based on CPI-E could mean a larger boost. We've already discussed how CPI-E could replace CPI-W as the measure for calculating COLA. If this happens, seniors could see increases of $300 to $500 per month, instead of the average $54 monthly bump forecast for 2026. If you support this metric change, many advocacy groups encourage you to comment publicly with, "I support CPI-E." 5. Medicare premiums could offset your increase. Even if your benefits increase, rising Medicare Part B premiums could reduce the extra money you actually take home. Some seniors may see their $54 average monthly increase shrink to just a few dollars after premiums are deducted. This is one of the reasons advocates are pushing so hard for the CPI-E change, so that benefit increases better match real costs. Why the 2026 COLA matters. The 2026 COLA is shaping up to be one of the most significant in recent years. Inflationary pressures, driven by tariffs and other economic factors, have already pushed forecasts upward. If the CPI-E change is adopted, millions of seniors could finally see their benefits keep pace with real expenses for the first time in decades. The Social Security Administration bases its COLA on inflation numbers from the third quarter of each year. For example, if the CPI-W rose 2.5% last year, then benefits increased by 2.5% this year. Right now, inflation metrics are running higher than before, which could push the final COLA number to 2.8% or even 2.9%. We'll know more when the September data is released. What you should do now. Make sure your direct deposit information is up to date before the September 30th deadline. If you still receive paper checks, decide whether you qualify for an exemption and submit your request to SSA in writing. Also, check whether you have any outstanding federal student loans, so you're not surprised by garnishments when they resume. Finally, stay informed about the push to adopt CPI-E for COLA calculations. This change could mean hundreds of dollars more per month in your pocket, starting in 2026. This year's changes to Social Security aren't just about numbers. They're about how seniors, people with disabilities, and retirees can live with dignity on fixed incomes. The Trump bump could be the biggest step yet toward catching benefits up to real costs, but only if seniors know their rights and prepare for what's coming. I'll keep you updated on every new development about your Social Security benefits. If you haven't yet subscribed, do it now and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and take care until the next video.